Hi, Shane here. You're watching Sam for God, and this is Mark. Check her out.
Hi guys, how are you doing? A couple of weeks ago I went to see a show that I was very unsure about before I went to see it, and it was From Here to Eternity, which is at the Shaftesbury Theatre in London at the moment. This musical opened about a month ago and it hasn't received the best of reviews, to be honest. In the press it got okay reviews, but regular theatregoers who've been to see it have all pretty much said that it's a pretty poor, mediocre at best show. And I kept reading all these comments from people on forums and stuff, and any normal person would have been like, okay, well, most people seem to not be enjoying it, so maybe I should give it a miss. But me being me, I thought, I need to see this now because I was curious. I wanted to make up my own mind about it, and to be honest, from previous experiences, usually I end up loving all the shows that most people hate, and even though I obviously respect everybody's opinions and stuff, I can never tell if I like a show or not unless I see it myself. So I went along and I saw this show. I didn't have to pay too much for it, so it was okay. It was a risk, obviously, but I still, like I said, I wanted to see it. And I ended up enjoying it. So, yeah. So it was a risk worth taking, I think. And yeah, I'm just going to tell you my thoughts about it now, and yeah, let's start. Now, this musical, From Here to Eternity, is based on a novel, and it was also a film that came out a while ago. Now, I hadn't read the novel and I hadn't seen the film, so I was completely new to it. I didn't know anything about the story. Everything else about the musical is completely original, though. The songs, the score is original, and the whole thing as a whole, I mean, they've turned it into a musical. It was never a musical before. It was a film and it was a novel, but this musical adaptation is completely original, like I said. The story is mainly about love. It's set during the time of Pearl Harbor, so it's quite historical in that sense. And it's about some soldiers and, yeah, just soldiers and how they find love and how difficult it was for them to do normal things because of how difficult the times were at the time. The story did appeal to me, you know. I'd read a bit about the plot before I went to see it and I thought it sounded pretty interesting, so yeah, that's pretty much the main plot. I'm going to go through the cast now. There's two sets of lovers in the show. The first is between Sergeant Milt Warden, that's the character name, and he was played by Darius Campbell, or Darius Danesh, which used to be his name. If anybody doesn't know, you might remember Darius from Pop Idol. He was on the 2002 Pop Idol, the very first Pop Idol, I think. He came third. Will Young won that year and Gareth Gates came second. I was a big fan of Gareth Gates, but I really liked Darius too at the time, and I'd never seen him live before, so I was excited to see him in a stage production. Now, I thought he was good for the most part. He definitely looked the part. He was a bit stiff at times, but I think maybe that's just part of his character. His accent was pretty good, I think, and sometimes, to be honest, it did feel like some of his line deliveries were a bit robotic, but again, I'm not sure if that's just part of his character or if it was just him not kind of connecting too well with it. I'm not sure. Overall, I enjoyed his portrayal of Sergeant Milt Ward, and I thought he was pretty good. His voice as well is great. I knew this already because I had his album from when he, came out of Pop Idol and stuff, and I used to love some of his songs and stuff. But yeah, he's got a great voice. It's a very low, deep voice, but it's great, it's beautiful. His love interest in the show is played by Rebecca Thornhill, and the character's name is Karen Holmes. She was probably one of the highlights for me. Her voice was beautiful, her acting was very, very natural. She was probably one of the very few characters I actually kind of cared about, and that's something that I'm going to get to later, but yeah, I thought Rebecca was great. The chemistry between her and Darius was not there, to be honest. I mean, in some scenes you could kind of believe that they really were lovers, but for the most part I found it a bit forced and just not real enough. But then again, I saw it quite recently and it's only just opened, so maybe that's something that's going to come with time. Then we had Robert Lonsdale as Private Robert E. Lee Pruitt, that's his character name, and he's one of the other lovers in the show. Now, Robert was absolutely fantastic. I think he had everything that a leading man should have in a show. His voice was great, I loved his voice, and his acting was, again, very believable, very natural. Overall, I thought it was really, really good. Now, his love interest is played by Siobhan, I think? Siobhan Harrison? I'm not sure about her first name, I'm sorry, but the character name is Lorraine, and again, I thought she was really good. She had a great voice, her acting was great. Again, there wasn't much chemistry between her and Robert on stage, I thought, but again, I think that's probably something that might come with time. Overall, I found both of the lovers just not convincing enough. They acted it well, all of them, but it was a bit difficult to believe that they really were in love. But yeah, it was still enjoyable. I enjoyed the performances, all 4 of them. There's another soldier in the show who's got kind of a big part, and that's played by Ryan Sampson. His character is Private Angelo Maggio, and I thought he was probably one of the best things about the show. He was always in character. Everything about his character on stage was just intriguing. When he was on stage, you couldn't help but watch him. He just kind of made the audience love the show, and he was very engaging. I really enjoyed his performance. His voice was great, his acting was fantastic. It's just a bit unfortunate that his role isn't that big, but yeah, I really enjoyed his performance. I also want to mention Martin Marquet, who plays Captain Donna Holmes, who's like the main kind of sergeant guy in the group. I thought he was great. I didn't even know that he was in the show, but he used to be in Billy Elliot. He used to play Billy's dad in Billy Elliot a few years ago, and it was a nice surprise to see him come on stage. Although, looking at his little kind of biography thing on this programme, it doesn't even mention that he was in Billy Elliot, which is a bit confusing to be honest, but I'm definitely sure that he was in Billy Elliot. He played the part for about a year in 2010, I think, and he finished in 2011, but yeah, he was great. His role again isn't that big, but his acting is great. I really do like him as a performer. Right, so that's pretty much most of the cast. Now we're going to get to the score. A lot of people have criticised the score, saying that it's very forgettable and that the songs aren't very good. Now, I'd read all this before I went to see it, so I wasn't expecting much from the score, but to be honest, I did like it for the most part. I've heard worse scores. This definitely wasn't the worst score I've ever heard in a musical. It's like with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, to give you a comparison if you've seen my review. I thought the score was completely forgettable, and even though the cast recording for that has been out for a while now, I haven't even bothered buying it because there wasn't anything in that score that I enjoyed and wanted to listen to again. But with this, although overall the score isn't really that special, some of the songs did have an impact on me, so I'm actually considering buying the cast recording if they ever do one, because I do want to listen to them again, and I genuinely did like some of the songs a lot. I actually thought some of the songs were pretty catchy as well, so I don't really know why people are saying they're all forgettable, because some of them were pretty good, very catchy, and I kind of left the theatre humming them to myself. There's one song that's mainly sung by Robert Lonsdale, and can't really remember the name of it, and I'm looking on the kind of listing in the programme, but it's kind of his main song. He sings it once in Act 1 and then he sings it again in Act 2. I think it might be called Fight the Fight, maybe? There's a bit that's just really, really catchy. No, I can't sing, but I don't know, just let me know if you know what I'm on about. But yeah, I really loved it, and apart from that, there were a couple of other songs that I really enjoyed as well. There is one song in Act 1 called, I think, G Company Blues, and it's a big ensemble dance piece, and I really enjoyed it. Probably one of my highlights in the show. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Solidarity from Billy Elliot. There were just all these men, soldiers, on stage kind of doing weird dances on their beds and stuff. It was very interesting, very fascinating. The song itself wasn't that memorable, but I did enjoy what they did with it, and the choreography I thought was really great. It's just a shame that that was kind of probably the only big dance scene in the show. Because it was towards the beginning of the show as well, when I saw that I was like, why are people not liking the show? Because, you know, it's off to a great start, I really like this. But then after that, I didn't really, all the other scenes weren't as good in my opinion, although some were pretty good. The sets were great, really great in fact. You really get sucked into the atmosphere and you actually believe that you're there with the soldiers in that time period, and yeah, I thought they did a very good job with the sets, and particularly in Act 2 there's some stuff on stage that I don't want to spoil it, but it just looks really great. I think that's pretty much all I'm going to say about the show. I'm still a bit confused about how I feel about the show. I mean, even doing the show, when I was watching it, I was sat there thinking, I don't know how I feel about the show. I mean, one minute I was like, oh god, this show is a mess, and the next I was thinking, wow, I'd actually like to see the show again. So yeah, I'm not completely sure on how I feel about the show, but I did sort of enjoy it, at least parts of it anyway, and I wouldn't mind seeing it again sometime in the future. So yeah, it's definitely not as bad as I thought it was going to be based on what I'd read. I would recommend it to you if you want to give it a shot going to see it, because it's quite good, and I've heard that they've since kind of changed it a little bit more as well. I saw it a couple of weeks ago and I thought Act 1 was a bit too long. I definitely enjoyed Act 2 more than I did Act 1, and I've heard that they've kind of made Act 1 a bit shorter now, so that's definitely going to be an improvement, I think. And yeah, that's I think all I'm going to say about this show. Like I said, it's called From Here to Eternity. It's at the Shaftesbury Theatre in London. I think you should go and see it if you get a chance, because it's one of the few original shows that's actually opened in London this year, and it's always great to support these shows, and you never know if you're going to like it or not unless you see it yourself. Don't believe what everybody else says, because like I said, theatre is subjective, and even if loads of people hate it, you might end up liking it. So yeah, that's my review for this show. From Here to Eternity. As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Why can't I find this? Oh my god, hurry up Sam.